Hey, what's up you guys, it's Jaded, and today I'm going to be going over the Infernal Machine that's coming in the upcoming patch, giving you like a step-by-step process, where to get each part, and as well as giving some insight towards the end, so that you guys can get your farm on when the patch goes live, and get yourself one of these sweet rings. So first off, I want to lay this out in a way that you guys can see it very easily, and so you can get like an overall idea of how this works. Basically, you get 3 keys by killing these key wardens that are throughout each act, and once you get these 3 keys you can make the Infernal Machine, but you have to get the plan first by killing the 4th key warden in Act 4, and you only have to do that once. So once you learn it, you can then craft any amount of Infernal Machines that you need. So that's the first part towards getting one of these rings. Now in the next step, you're going to use this Infernal Machine to open a portal. Now depending where the portal spawns is going to give you different bosses, but there are 2 bosses per portal, and they're different sets. So for example, in one of the portals you have to fight Magda and Skeleton King, and once you do that they will drop a part that you can use towards that Hellfire ring. So once you go through all 3 portals, get one of each part, you can then craft your ring, and that also requires a plan, and you get that plan from an Act 2 NPC. Very simple, it just costs 2 million gold, and you only have to learn that once as well. So essentially, to make a ring, you're looking at farming 3 of each key, and then going in, kill the bosses each once, and you get your parts, make your ring, and all that's good. Now, one thing to keep in mind is doing this with other people. You can share portals, you can, have 2 other people alongside of you farming keys as well, and then each of you opens a portal, and you kind of share the portals that way. So obviously, it's going to be much more efficient to do this with friends or in public games, if you want to test your might there. So now that you have a broad understanding of how this all works, I'm going to be going over each key and each location of each key warden and all that good stuff. So first off, Act 1, you got the key warden. He's found in the Fields of Misery. Now you do want to farm these with 5 stacks up. I was farming this on Monster Power 5. Now something to know is if you're farming under Monster Power 10, these no longer have 100% chance to drop. But if you're on Monster Power 10 and playing with other people, if your gear is good enough to roll like that, then it is going to drop 100% of the time, but it's going to take forever to kill stuff. So for me personally, it was much more comfortable, doing it solo, to do it around Monster Power 5. And with 5 stacks up, they were dropping about 50% of the time, I want to say. I don't know the actual drop percentage or any of that. But getting back to the key warden here, he just has a basic spear throw attack, this triple fireball trident shot that he does every now and then he's also jailer. So very basic out of all of them, he's probably the easiest. And this guy's going to drop you the key of destruction. Now in Act 2, the key warden's located in the Dalgar Oasis, and sometimes you can find 5 elites, 5 champions in that area as well. So I like to just go there and get my 5 stacks. Now this guy's ability is natural to the mob. He has that spinning attack which deflects some damage. And then he also has missile dampening, he has mortar and electrify, and he's going to drop you the key of hate. In Act 3, the key warden is located in Stonefort, and typically you can just run through Skycrown Battlements, which is right before this area, to get your 5 stacks, and then roll up on this guy. Now his abilities are illusion, he pops illusion, he also moves around a lot, just naturally, and he also has some sort of icy corpse rain, something like that. And it has these freezing fields where if you stand in it, it does slow you down. And this guy drops the key of terror. Now that's your 3 keys that you need for the Infernal Machine. Now you need the plan, so head on to Act 4. And this guy's located in the Silver Spire level 1. And he's a huge pain in the ass for sure. But the good news is you only have to kill him once, or get the drop once, depending on what monster power you're playing on. So his abilities are, he has this frontal attack, which has some sort of lightning, and then he has a curse, which if you get hit at all by him, he'll curse you with 75% healing debuff, and it lasts quite a long time, so you kind of have to run that out if you need to heal up. He also has this really strong AoE fire attack that basically if you get caught in jail, which he also has jailer, you'll probably die. I don't know if anyone can really survive it if you're hanging in there, especially on the really high monster power levels. And then he also has a knockback that he does quite often. So he's just a huge pain in the ass, and I had to actually kite him just to kill him because you can't go toe to toe with him typically. So once you kill him, he drops the plan. Like I said, you need this. You only have to farm it once, but you do need blacksmith level 10 to use it. Now you got your 3 keys, you got your plan, you're ready to craft an Infernal Machine and go to the next step. So next step we're looking at, you want to be in Act 1 and you want your 5 stacks before going into these portals. And typically you're going to want to get the first key, from Act 1 while doing this, get the 5 stacks, get the first key, finish the Infernal Machine, and then you can go in the portal so you don't have to redo the 5 stacks. Now, ideally, you're going to want 3 Infernal Machines. That way you can open up all 3 portals, and you don't have to keep doing this over and over. Get the 5 stacks, open a portal. And also, you do this because you don't want to leave it up to chance. You're going to get a random portal every time. It doesn't matter where you're standing in the room or any of that. Now, as I was recording this content, I realized they recently upped the element damage from, different spells in the game, like Arcane and Molten, things like that. So if the monster power level is really high, the element damage is just really, really high. In fact, I feel like it might be too much because they really amped it up. And that got updated really recent on the PTR. So not everyone knows this yet, but the element damage is just really high. So for example, in the Magda fight, those bugs that she spits out, the little purple swarm, that does insane damage. If you hit that twice, you're probably gonna die. The Golem fight still felt pretty easy. The Golem fight, Rakanoth, didn't have any trouble there. But in the Siegebreaker one with Cool, that's really you're leaving it up to chance in that fight, because if Siegebreaker grabs you, you can still take damage. And if you're doing this solo, the only thing Cool is targeting is you in the room. So I found it really, really difficult since they did this minor tweak to element damage. So if this does go live on Tuesday, just keep that in mind, because a lot of people will stop testing it, and I think it might be an issue for people definitely with lower level gear. But really there's not a whole lot to talk about in each of the fights. In the Magda Skeleton King fight, you're going to want to dodge that swarm of bugs, as well as Skeleton King's really powerful attack that he didn't do too often, I noticed. Maybe once or twice. Really strange. I think they might have lessened that recently. For the Golem Rakanoth fight, it's really tank and spank. I didn't have any troubles. And then for the Siegebreaker Cool fight, I would say, dodge the bubbles on the ground. Use Sprint through them, because Sprint will remove any slowing effect. So you got to make sure you have enough Fury going through that, because if you get caught in one of those, it slows down your attack animation, your move speed animation, and you're going to have a bad time there. But yeah, like I said, bring some friends, get these done with multiple people. It's just going to be a much smoother process, considering you can res and all that good stuff. And once you do that, you can craft your ring at the Jewel Crafter as well. He needs to be level 10. Pick up that plan in Act 2. You can see on the screen where he's at. Just make sure you bring 2 million gold and you're set. Now, if you guys have any questions, just leave a comment and I'll try to get around to it, even though I'll probably be pretty busy playing some Diablo 3. But hopefully, if I can't, then someone else can. But yeah, that's going to do it, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video.